So this is my daughter Colby, and this is my son Jack. You want to say hi? So they have spent most of their lives helping me serve Manchester and serve our great 1st Congressional District in our state of New Hampshire. They kind of get what it means to go back and forth every week, right, down to Washington. I get a call from Colby every Friday. She asks me, what time, Dad, are you going to come home? She calls me around 6:30. That's the only day of the week I don't have to set an alarm because I know she's going to call. And I come home every weekend, spend time with constituents, spend time with my family. Most importantly, I'm back in New Hampshire, talking to people about what it is that you want us to reflect in Washington, D.C. How can we best reflect New Hampshire values in Washington to move this country in the right direction? And I am very fortunate to be in my first term. It's been an honor to serve. But I will tell you, I do it not just for these 2 kids, but for you, for your children, for your grandchildren, because the future of this country is at stake on November 6th. We've got a very, very serious decision to make as a nation. And we're used to this in New Hampshire. As the first in the nation primary, we're very used to making good, tough decisions about who should be our nominees, who should be leading our nation. In my experience in Washington for the last 20 months or so, has essentially been this. President Obama wants to grow the size of government. President Obama wants to take money from you and give it to somebody else. President Obama wants another 4 years to get the country on the right track. And I've met with him, I've spoken with him, good, decent person, wrong policies for the nation. Very, very simple. Wrong policies for the nation. Not only when I was mayor, but in my own business, we had to deal with things like balancing budgets, stretching a buck farther than you typically would like, trying to find ways to be efficient and effective. We were respectful of taxpayer money, of your money. Washington doesn't understand that. Washington thinks the money that they have is theirs. They don't realize it comes from taxpayers. They don't realize that they have an obligation to be more effective and more efficient with those dollars. They don't realize that every hard-working man and woman across this nation spends hours and hours and hours just to pay the government their share. And all we're asking is for freedom, for liberty here in New Hampshire. Live free or die. Leave us alone, federal government. Let us do what we do best as entrepreneurs, as small business owners, as people who are innovators. You know, my folks started their own small business. They didn't go to college. They worked for 40 years. They created their business. They built their business. And they were able to give me and my brother and my sister a better opportunity than they had. Well, that's what my wife and I want to do for these guys. Give them a better opportunity than we had. That's part of the American dream. It's part of the American opportunity. So between now and November 6th, we've got a very, very important decision. I think Americans will vote for Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. I sure hope they will. I've served with Paul in my first term. I served with the Budget Committee with him. I know him personally. He's a friend. He's a good, decent human being who has nothing other than your best interests at heart. And he's bold to put solutions on the table. And I think this Congress, this House, the 87 freshmen that were elected, have bold solutions because that's what people are demanding of us. So if the country decides to elect a Republican Senate and our team to go to the White House, let me tell you what's going to happen. We're going to provide certainty to job creators. We're going to provide certainty in the tax code. We're going to start rolling back these onerous regulatory burdens of small business owners and job creators. We're going to repeal finally the Affordable Care Act. country focused on that kind of approach, that kind of leadership, that kind of future. Now, I love knocking on doors. I love making phone calls. I want to thank you all first for doing that and continuing to do it. It matters. I was mayor of this great city for 4 years, Republican in a Democrat city. Republicans can win in this city, in every city across the Grand State, in every city across America, because our ideas and our solutions match up with average Americans. But we've got to get that word out. We've got to communicate it directly. So I appreciate the time and the energy you spend going door to door. It works. Believe me, it works. This is the kind of grassroots operation that we need, not just here in New Hampshire, but all across the country. And if we do that for the next 38 days, we go talk to those undecided voters, and we talk to those people that have yet to make a decision, I am confident that we will have Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan as the next president and vice president. We have a very special guest with us. He came all the way out from Wisconsin to make sure that Paul Ryan doing a good job out here campaigning. So Scott Walker is a man who certainly knows what it's like to be in a tough election and a tough re-election. But here's what he did. He actually campaigned on a policy. He actually instituted that policy, and then in a recall was reaffirmed because he did what he said he was going to do. That's the policy. Tell the people what you're going to do, because people are yearning for leadership. So I'm very proud to introduce the governor from the great state of Wisconsin, Scott Walker.